Hi, everyone. Welcome to Porn Rewire. I am Coach Zack, and this week we're going to be talking about how to deliberately practice your sobriety. Now, sobriety is a skill, okay? And if it's a skill, that means it needs to be practiced and it needs to be improved, okay? A lot of times we think sobriety is just going to come to us. We just think it's just willpower, but it's not just that. It's actually a learned skill, right? And so that means if you're not improving, if your sobriety is not getting better, that means you're not deliberately practicing. Now, what is deliberate practice? What does that mean? So, as an example, I'm a drummer and I've been playing drums since I was 10 years old. I'm 31 now. That means I've been playing drums for like 21 years. It's a long time to be playing drums. However, I haven't gotten consistently better over time, right? So what happened was when I was younger, when I was 10, when I was 10 to 20, in that range, I was practicing constantly. I was practicing new fills. I was practicing new drum beats. I was practicing new styles of music. I was regularly trying to make myself better. I was working on my weaknesses regularly. I was finding the things that I wasn't good at, and I tried to get better and better at it. And I continually practiced those things, right? And so over time, I got better and better. However, there reached a point where I just kind of was happy to rest on my laurels. I was happy to show up and play at gigs, and I just used the skills I'd already learned and just kind of floated by on those, right? But I wasn't continually learning how to get better. With our sobriety, the same thing can happen. We can stall out. We can not be getting better. We can be staying at the same place in our sobriety and not be improving on it. And that's often because we're not deliberately practicing. We're not trying to make ourselves better in a way that gets us further and further away from pornography. So today, that's what we're going to talk about, right? And so a few of these steps, if you watch my last video, I referenced a book called Grit by Angela Duckworth. I'm pulling this from that book as well. I'm making two videos on this book. I'm not going to do the whole book, although I could, but I just found the information in this book so helpful. So she listed 3 things that are steps to deliberate practice. I'm actually going to add a 4th, and we're going to start with the one I'm adding as the first step. The first step to deliberately practicing your sobriety is gathering information. And so you already knew this probably. That's why you're here today. That's why you're watching this video. Gathering information on what are the steps? What does it take to get sober, to get away from pornography, to get away from masturbation, to get away from these things? And so you're going to videos. You might go to books like I did with this book called Grit. We talk about it a lot. The 90-day program, it's got the best information you're going to find on getting out of pornography use and staying out. It's the best I've ever come across, right? So you're like, I already knew that step. Okay, cool. Let's go to step 2. Step 2 is setting goals. And so setting goals is where you focus on your weaknesses. So this is kind of what I was referencing earlier. You find the weaknesses in your armor, okay? We talk about it a lot of time. You got offensive plans, you got defensive plans, okay? If your defense is things like setting up blocks, getting rid of technology you don't need, okay, maybe that's the problem. But it may also be your offensive strategies where you're not finding ways to help you cope with life, where it's meditation, it's cold showers, it's hanging with friends, it's hobbies. So it's these things that we talk about regularly. But another part of your goal, the way you set a goal and the way you're consistent with it, is routine. If you can set up a routine, you are more likely to accomplish your goal. Once again, last week, the last time we talked about goals, we talked about this book. So I did a little bit more in-depth talk on goal setting. But one of the things I don't believe I talked about is the routine. You want to do it in the same time and same place every day. You want whatever goal you're setting to be laid out in a way that's easy to get to. So if you're setting goals for yourself, like meditation and journaling to help you cope with life, to help make you feel better so you're not going to porn, you want to do those about the same time and same place every day as practice. And so it can be in the morning, it can be at night, afternoon, whatever you choose. But try to set up your area so that you can go to the same place, have everything laid out so that you get the cues, you get the reminders to do it, and then you try to do it at the same time. Okay, number 3. This was a hard one for me for a long time, but documentation. Documentation is so important to getting out of porn addiction, to getting out of masturbation, these things. I, for the longest time, was not an organized person. For those of you out there that struggle with organization, that struggle with being detail-oriented, I feel you. I really get it. I really do. But I had to learn over time. I was blessed. I got a job at a bank. People don't like when you lose their money. Go figure. They really don't like that. So I had to get detail oriented. That decimal point, moving it to the left or the right, is not good, either for the bank or for the person. So you had to be right on point. So I don't know if Dr. Lee's talked about it before. I'm sure she has. But things like daily planners, I have mine right here with me. And it's crazy. It's nuts right now. But my daily planner, some of the things that you see on it are habit trackers. So I have a list of things in my habit tracker section where these are the things that I want to do on a daily basis. Things like, I'll read them to you real quick. So things like journaling, meditating, playing drums, so practicing, reading, exercise. These are things that I want to do on a daily basis. And so it has little bubbles that I can put my X's in and say, or my check marks in and say, okay, I did it, I did it, I did it. And I get those hits of dopamine where I feel better because, oh man, I'm moving through and I'm doing it. But then you also have sections where you're writing out the things to do for each day. So one of the things I wrote out today was to get a video done. I needed to get this done, right? And so I have it on my calendar. I have it on my daily planner. When you have it on your planner, it makes it more likely for you to do the thing. You don't need to expend mental energy on, what am I going to do today? You took some time at the beginning of the week to lay out your week already. You got organized, right? So that's the first part. Second part is you document. You document successes and failures. One of the things that we teach in coaching and one of the things we teach in the program is how to go about that, right? You want to make sure that you understand that you're getting better over time. And the only way to do that is actually to document it. If you're not documenting it, as far as you know, you're not improving, but you may be. Because there's a lot of guys that they're actually improving, they don't realize it. And then there's some people that think they're doing better and they're not. They're doing worse. They're actually looking at porn more often. They're masturbating more often, and they think they're doing better because they're not keeping track. They don't understand, okay? Just know that when you're documenting your successes and your failures, failure's not final. You know, I may not even, it may not even be a good idea to call it a failure. You can call it a learning experience, but you have to know it's not final, right? But all that failure indicates is that it needs to be interpreted as you need to try harder. You haven't quite found the thing that works for you, right? That's why I'm here. I'm here to give you more and more and more tools so that you try a bunch of things and find the things that work for you. That's why our company has the 90-day program. That's why we do coaching, group coaching, because at some point you're going to get the right combination of things that are going to help you get out of and stay out of porn. If you're not out of it yet, you haven't found the right combination, okay? The last thing that she talks about in the book, Grit, is coaching in groups. So I just mentioned it a second ago. Grit, the ability to overcome difficulty, is easier to do with others than by yourself. I genuinely don't know how you get out of this and stay out of this without help. I've had accountability partners, I've had mentors, I've had groups, like I've done all these things. So believe me when I tell you, these are the things that you need to get out and stay out of this stuff, okay? So those are the steps. You gather information, you find out what do you need to know to get out of porn, stay out of porn. You set goals, right? You set your goal so that you understand what you're trying to achieve, right? And how do you know if you're reaching your goal? You document your progress to that goal. And so if your goal is to go through 2023 and not look at porn, okay, you have to document, okay? Or if it's even just to improve, to be better than last year, which is a goal I recommend over perfection. I recommend just getting better. Is it better than last year? Okay. So documentation helps you to know, are you reaching your goal? And then the last element is finding coaches like myself, finding groups like the ones we offer in order to help you get out and stay out of porn and masturbation. So if you need extra help, reach out to us. It's a new year. Make this the year that you overcome porn. Make this the year that you get better and further away from porn, okay? So remember, control your brain or it will control you. Thanks, everybody.